Alright, everyone. It's 4 in the morning. My sleep schedule is piss. And I'm not in a rut, but I don't have a lot on my to-do list, so I'm kind of just moping around. And I figured it's been a while since I had a sit-down check-in video. I think they've been a lot of just like running content and shit. So this video is a quick breakup reflection. My most recent breakup. It happened May 9th, so that's been June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, 8 months. So it's been 8 months, which is actually a really long time. It doesn't feel like it's been 8 months though. It's the longest I've ever stuck with a breakup. My previous two breakups, I quickly, met my next girlfriend. It's the longest I've gone without sex. It's been incredibly difficult, but also rewarding. And we didn't like officially go no contact. It was for context purposes. May 9th, we broke up. May 28th was our 1 year first day anniversary. I still had a dinner reservation for our 1 year, and I was going back and forth if I wanted to hit her up for it or not. And she sent me a text a bit after we broke up, just being like, hope you're taking care of yourself, blah, blah. And I didn't reply because it was way too soon. It was less than a week after we broke up, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, fuck you at a time. It was still really nice, but I was like, so then I replied, and long story short, she had a very nice, like, wants to see me type of vibe. So we went on the date, and I know I took the day off of work the next day. I don't know if it was 2 days after or the day of the date and the day after, but the date was lovely. I remember, like, I felt so warm and happy just to see her again and laugh with her and have a good time. And it was lovely, but I just remember it was really hard because, like, she was using like cute like couple words and like nicknames and shit, I don't pet names. And it just felt like we hadn't broken up, and then going home and that harsh reality of like, no, we're broken up. It was awful, and it was like a breakup all over again. And I took off the whole next day, like I said, and I was just crying. And I was like, I fucked up so bad, and I fumbled, and yeah, and at the time, just a lot of other stuff going on. So then after that, she hit me up one time to hang out. I said no. And then right before I was going up to Nashville July 4th to hang out with my friends on a trip in Nashville. July 3rd, she texted me to hang out, and I said no. She's like, do you just never want to hear from me again? Should I stop hitting you up or what? And I was like, let's not be dramatic. Do you have time for a phone call? And we talked for literally, it was a little over 2 hours or a little less than 2 hours, just catching up on like work, school, all that stuff. She's in a rigorous program. It was nearing graduation. I was getting closer to quitting my job. And then we hadn't talked and then we pretty much went no contact. I just said it would help me heal. And then back in October, literally, I think it was like the first week of October, because it was right before my marathon, I was on what looked like a date with a friend of mine. We were just out shopping, and my ex drove past me. I didn't know it was her car until I saw the license plate, and I recognized the plate, and then it was too far, and I like didn't wave or anything. I just stopped and was like in awe. And me and her said, if we ever see each other in public, we have to say hi and not be weird about it. I'd rather say hi. But if, we're one of us on a date or we're just uncomfortable and don't realize how much it hits us, we at least have to do some finger pistols to each other. So then she sent me like a text with some finger pistols, and we texted for a little bit, and, I got a chance to like congratulate her on graduating, let her know I'm unemployed now, and just a little bit of small talk. And then I didn't want to talk too much. Well, I did. Like, all I wanted to do was talk to her, but I know I kind of had to cut it off before like going down a slippery slope again. So now we've been no contact since, and so that's probably why it feels 8 months is really long. I didn't realize it had been that long. Because honestly, it feels like really recent. Like, it's still, all those memories and things are still really, really fresh. And maybe it's me struggling to move on. Maybe it's because I'm not seeing anyone else and I haven't really gone on any dates since then. But yeah, so I guess from October, November, December, January, it's only been 3 months since then. Didn't get a New Year's Eve text, which I wanted. I still think about her a ton, but I do think we're finally on like the decreasing path. I think we were at one point a couple months ago, finally starting to decrease, and then I either bumped into her or she texted me and it kind of fucked it up, and not to sound rude. Um, so I think that's a good thing. A ton of things still remind me of her, and I think that's fine. I think there's things with all my exes that like permanently I associate with them or that remind me of them, and I think I'm not hard on myself with that. I think, like I said, there's always going to be certain things that remind me of this ex, that ex, that ex, and I will always have love for all of them. I like to view it as they each have a little room in my heart that's theirs forever. I don't think you should beat yourself up if something reminds you of your ex, even if you think of them. I think it's okay to be frustrated, but not beat yourself up. But definitely not with like reminders, you know. Um, I don't really know where I was going with this, but yeah, I think we're finally on like the, thinking of her less thing. Still obviously rooting for her and wishing her the best. There's still obviously a lot of cravings to hit her up. Sometimes, especially I think upon moving, I want to flex it to some extent. Some days when I'm struggling, it's still like, you know, she's someone who I know is really good to talk to and calming and supportive with that kind of stuff. And even now, like just thinking about it, that's a hard thing. That I still have friends and stuff. I've been supplementing with that, but maybe not quite at the exact same level. I think it's different when there's someone that you can like. I have people that I could call on the phone and FaceTime and cry to, but like, someone that can hold you or that you can hold during that stuff. That's a unique thing. Maybe this was a bad idea. Now I'm getting sad, but I think we're on the uptrend, if I'm being honest. And it's hard. Part of me is like, there's a desire to like date and meet people or like a girlfriend, but I'm also like, I think I need to figure more things out about myself. But the main desire is like, I think it'd help me move on or forget, but I also think that's what I've done in the past and that hasn't been healthy. So honestly, I kind of want to keep the hot streak going. Like I said, it's the longest I've gone without sex. I'm not like it's something that's really apparent and being thrown at me, the opportunity much. Don't get it mistaken with that. It's incel, involuntary to an extent, but part of me is like, let's go for a year. But yeah, I think we're on the healing end. It's just like, I think a lot of it still is building up a support system, and then when that's a little bit stronger, like, like I said, the thing I miss most is just that level of intimacy and connection, which I don't think genuinely I'll ever have until in a relationship again. So I think it's one, acknowledging that and that's okay, and two, I guess trying to see if I can build up my support system enough where either a relationship does hit that level or I have enough relationships at a lower level that, equal that kind of thing, so to speak. So yeah, I guess I don't really know. This is way longer than I expected. I don't know if I'm gonna post it to TikTok. Maybe I will because it's getting banned, and I feel like I can post more vulnerable stuff. But yeah, I hope she's doing well. She's great. I honestly think that was a factor too, and why I moved is all of my exes live back in Wisconsin, so I think this forces me to. Maybe that's why I think about hitting them up more now, is because there's that barrier. Or if I hit them up, it's not going to lead to anything. I'm not going to go get dinner or something with them, but, I'd be lying if there isn't a desire to be like, I know 3 months ago she didn't have a job, to be like, hit her up, and if she's like, I don't have a job, be like, come spend a week with me. Not going to happen. But yeah, that's it. I just want people going through a breakup to know time helps. No matter what, time helps, I promise you. And it's not linear. Like, healing's not just time on the X and Y axis being healing. It's not that. It's gonna fluctuate. You're gonna have some days where you almost like relapse, and I hate using that terminology because I'm a little bit ignorant on the topic and don't want to. But where you're gonna backtrack, 3 steps back after you've done a couple forward. So that's okay. Just trust that time helps, and I think just take that time to invest in yourself, you know, explore certain hobbies, even explore like friends and people, like what kind of people you're more or less attracted to, as not even in like a date sexual way, just in terms of like people you want in your life and circle and support system, really. But that's my 4 a.m. ramble. Look at this hair. Um, yeah, 8 months. Kind of crazy. I do hope I get a birthday text from her. And if I don't, it's gonna be hard for me not to send some snarky little thing, but we'll see. I still have a sticky note of hers in my car. I don't know if I probably should get rid of it, but we'll see. Um, and then I might unblock her from my Insta because I know she's a stalker, social media wise, and I kind of want her to see some things, but right now we're still on the healing track. Yeah, that's it. Time helps, and invest in your support system.